So recently, I made a video on the 3 months experience of dating apps for the average guy and shared my results as well as my thoughts on dating apps such as Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. Well, the people have spoken, and you guys wanted me to compare the free versus the paid versions of dating apps to see if paying really makes a difference in the results for the average guy. I must say that as soon as I saw the prices of the premium versions of these apps, I was baffled, to say the least. I mean, in this economy, who the can afford this shit? So I decided to opt for the paid version with the most of premium features, but for the shortest amount of time, which is 1 week. Because to be straight up with y'all, I do not want to be on these apps, and I don't want these dating apps to be taking a single dollar more or a single second more of my time, more than necessary to prove my point for this video. Matter of fact, this video cost me about $120, 10 hours of filming plus editing, and the little confidence that I had left. So if you enjoy it, please leave a like and subscribe, because if this video flops, I will feel like absolute. Alright, you guys know the drill. Let's get straight into analyzing the results. Also, since some of you were asking last time, here are the pictures and prompts used for my profiles for all 3 dating apps. When it comes to the pictures, it's simple. I took advice from some how to get more matches on dating apps video tutorial. And then for the prompts, let's be honest, girls only read these if they find you somewhat attractive. So that being said, I still put in some strategy behind each of them. So I put the Duolingo one to show that I'm committed and smart and willing to learn new things. Then the booking a one-way ticket flight to show that I'm spontaneous, adventurous, and I like to travel. And then finally, what's your favorite movie? This one's just to have an easy conversation starter.
Oh my god, bro. Oh hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Now let's start with my review of Tinder Platinum. So Tinder Platinum lets you see who likes you, and you have unlimited amount of likes. So you don't have to worry about if a girl's attractive or not. You can just automatically swipe right on every living thing you see on your screen. Also, it's supposed to send your likes at the top of the queue for the girls. So for the 1 week that I had Tinder Platinum, my results are supposed to be insane, right?
Wrong.
I guess I was prioritized to be amongst the first couple of chads that would be shown to girls when they open the app, and they were immediately repulsed because I didn't fit in with the other chads, right? And so they would swipe left, obviously. We all know by now about like the ELO system, these dating apps. Basically, if you get more likes, you're more likely to get recommended in people's feeds. So I don't think it's very effective to be first compared to when you're somewhere in the middle of their swiping session, since, you know, they start having more humble standards, and going in first is basically you're competing against the chads. Anyways, my results are, considering that I paid more than $20 for a week, I would say catastrophic. I got 3 matches and 2 likes, which one of them was my first like after paying. I was so hyped and happy. I was like, let's go. And then I realized it was a dude.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way.
Then out of the 3 matches, 2 of them ghosted, and then 1 gave me the driest reply ever, so I just left it there. And by the way, Tinder Platinum includes like 10 super likes and 3 compliments, which compliments, by the way, is the same shit as on Tinder. When you leave a like, you get to send like a message along with it. But all of this shit was completely useless because none of the matches came out of these features. The only thing that was pretty cool with Tinder Platinum was the airplane mode, which lets me check out Tinder anywhere in the world. But let's be realistic. This would only be useful if you travel a lot or you have like a crazy good profile and you want to have girls as soon as your private jet lands in whatever city you're trying to go to. So this is for like the ballers, the top ballers out there. But in my case, I guess it just served the purpose of showing me what girls are like in places like Sweden or Spain. Also, this changing location feature is a free feature on Hinge, so I just don't get the point of paying for this. Yeah, this was a complete waste of my $20, which compared to the other apps coming up is not that much. And I will say that if you get a bunch of likes and you're streaming your Tinder session, for example, then it would be worth to get it, since you can get convos quicker than with the free version. But other than that, I really don't see the point. If you're already getting below average to average results, it's really not going to give you any much better. So my final review of Tinder Platinum is a solid 1 out of 10. Customer service, I want a refund now.
We do not care.
Now let's move on to Bumble Premium Plus. Here it's the same concept as previously explained on Tinder Platinum. So you can see who likes you, you have unlimited likes, and the algorithm is supposed to favor your account in the other people's feed at the best time for every day. Which, by the way, like I explained before, I don't think is as effective as they make it sound. And here my results are even more brutal, since keep in mind, I paid a big $50 for just 1 week. And that's before the absurd Canadian taxes. This was the most expensive expensive subscription out of all 3 apps, which is a ridiculous price to be honest. I don't know who in their right mind would pay for this shit. It's just not worth it. But let me explain. I got in total 4 matches, out of which all of them, they just ghosted at some point. So it was a complete waste. Also, they give you 10 super swipes and 2 compliments per week, which you already know were completely useless. None of the matches came from those features. Bumble, unlike Tinder, gives you 2 spotlights per week, which is the equivalent of a boost on Tinder. Basically, what this does is that for 30 minutes, it's supposed to show you ahead of everyone else. But like I previously explained, this means that as soon as the girls open the app, they would see my face. And obviously, the likes for the free version are limited. So why would they waste it on the first person that they see if there could be way better coming up ahead, right? It's like the same concept as gambling pretty much. So spoiler alert, I was so hopeful when activating this feature, but to no one's surprise, absolutely no likes or matches came out of it for both times that I did the spotlights, which by the way, I did it at peak user moments. So I had to do some research, and it turns out on Sunday and Tuesday evening was the best time, around 8 p.m. But still, even using these strategies and calculated tactics, it was all pointless. What a fucking scam. Anyways, the one girl that didn't ghost straight after matching did message me first about my opener message, which is, what is the next thing you're looking forward to? But when I replied to her message asking about how my weekend went, that was it. That's where it ended. So nothing came out of Bumble either. Final review for Bumble Premium Plus, I'll give it a 2 out of 10, simply because it includes the 2 profile boosts unlike on Tinder, and this would probably be effective if you have a really good profile or if you're really attractive. But still, like $50 is a crazy price point. So 2 out of 10.
You're broke! You're fucking poor!
Alright, finally, let's talk about Hinge X. This subscription for a week was $35. And let me tell you, if you think the other 2 apps were brutal for me, type F in the chat right now, because oh my god, this left me like 6 feet deeper, and I'm 5'7", so yeah, you already know I was definitely like gone. But anyways, ready? My results for Hinge X are 0. Yes, you heard that right. 0. 0 everything. 0 likes, 0 matches, 0 will to live, 0 fucks left to give. This was insanely brutal.
Hat-trick! 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 Hat-trick!
This was the equivalent of setting on fire a 5, a 10, and a $20 bill. Like, bro, I could have given this money to a donkey and it would have made more of a difference and would have been more satisfying to see. Like, I got literally robbed in broad daylight with this one. I couldn't believe it at first, so much that I fucking verified my profile. I deleted and re-downloaded the app because I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a glitch. I was like, oh, there's no way. Like, what the... The worst part about this is they're supposed to recommend your profile to more people, right? That only makes it worse for my profile elo. Since more girls probably immediately tapped on the X button, my account elo deranked all the way to fucking Iron 1. Because let me tell you, all I kept getting at some point on my feed were Lizzo type beats. But I don't fucking want to queue up with Lizzo type beats. I want some Sabrina Carpenter type beats. We are totally talking about music and gaming here, just in case they try to cancel me on Twitter. Yeah, with Hinge X, you get priority likes, which means you get to stay at the top of the likes queue. But this can just mean that they'll reject you sooner rather than later. Oh, you get to skip the line and get recommended to matches sooner? Yeah, well, if I already sent out a like and I'm on top of the queue, like, what difference does it make? Are they even thinking about how redundant this is and the Hinge headquarters? This is all just marketing to make it seem like it's so worth it. There's more features to purchase, but it's really not. Finally, wow, you get enhanced recommendations. You get access to your type. Yeah, are you sure about that?
Hello, motherfucker.
Also, all this set more dating preferences feature is a complete joke. Like, if I'm already getting poor results while not being picky, imagine if I was picky. Like, I'd be getting negative results. Like, what the like the equivalent of going window shopping for Rolexes knowing you can barely afford rent. Anyways, final review for Hinge X is a 0 out of 10. It didn't make a difference whether I paid or not. It was the exact same fucking shitty experience. So at that point, you're better off just using the free version. In conclusion, guys, please, please, please do not pay for these premium subscription of these dating apps. I repeat, do not redeem! Do not redeem! If you're a below average to average dude in terms of looks, height, status, money, blah, 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 and what you're looking for is a quick nut, then with all this money spent on these subscriptions for just 1 week, you could have paid for some other services in real life, which I'm not encouraging, all right? Just making that clear. I'm simply just leaving the economic facts out in the air. And if you're looking for something serious, a long-term relationship, then unfortunately, the dating apps method is long patched by now. I mean, it's been around for more than 10 years now. And maybe it used to be great and work for a lot of people back in the day. But nowadays, they make it seem like paying for all these DLCs and add-ons will definitely increase your chances of success. They literally spam me with boosts, promotion, even after getting the premium version. Therefore, it's clear by now that dating apps are just a scummy business. They do not want the average modern man to succeed. They want to drain your pockets as much as possible before you finally give up on it or you find someone. That is how they make their millions. Create a problem, sell you a solution, a cheat code, false sense of hope. That's it. This whole video literally proves my point. And if that means that I lost $120 for it, then so be it. As long as I know I saved others from falling for the same trap, I think it's time for me to try a new method in real life. No more online dating bullshit. And for this next method, I will need you all to follow me on Instagram. Link in the description, name on the screen. Come on, I can wait. It doesn't take more than 10 seconds. Also, it's time to show these apps that we are done with these pay-to-win games. It's time to take control back of our dating lives and show them that we do not want to be the product. We don't want to have restricted access to our psychological need of love. It's time to take action now. If you have any dating apps on your phone, delete it right fucking now. Because by boycotting these apps, it's the only way these greedy companies and also the girls who are on these apps will understand or discontent for how the modern dating game works. That being said, like and subscribe. We're taking over 2025. See you in the next one.